Hi, my name is Ken Bryden. I'm the current acting staff sergeant for the Guns and Gangs and Dart section. Our section is predominantly responsible for looking at the criminal underworld of street gangs and street gang activity and the gun violence that's associated to that. In order to combat those issues, we look at three pieces, which is prevention, suppression, and enforcement. Enforcement and suppression piece is something that we do on a daily basis and is our bread and butter, so to speak. But what we have more proactively been involved in now is the prevention side with the Ottawa Gang Strategy.
This gang strategy, what it's been able to do is connect all the service providers across the board into one area and allowing us to bridge those services so we're not duplicating and we're not working in silos, but rather as a team, as a collective. And I think it's a more effective strategy than everybody kind of doing their own thing to combat this issue.
It's a lot of communication, a lot of meetings, and not all of it around critical incidents, because you don't want to be establishing your relationships during a critical incident. You want to have your relationship established beforehand so that when something hits the fan, when the incident happens, that you're comfortable with each other, that you know where you're going, you know what you're doing, you know the other person's strengths and what their needs are, so that we can respond appropriately to incidents on the ground.
We developed an instrument, and what that is a survey of factors associated with the youth that put them at risk for criminal activity or at risk for reoffending. The best approach to dealing with youth crimes is to identify the factors placing them at risk for a criminal activity, and then trying to address those factors through different kinds of services.
One of our biggest aims is to connect youth that aren't already connected to services through outreach, meeting them where they're at. And what we try to do is connect with them, first of all, by building a relationship and figuring out where there's a lag in services, what they're looking for, and hopefully finding the appropriate service to connect them to.
We're part of the Lassie Coalition, and so it's a group of organizations that work together to serve immigrant folks. We have a lot of mothers with lots of teenage kids, and so we thought that would be a great time to also introduce them to their rights and responsibilities, the rights and responsibilities of their children. It's a knowledge-based approach, right? So you're passing on this information to somebody who might pass it on to somebody else and who might pass it on to somebody else. The hope for the project is to decrease the number of newcomer and immigrant youth that are involved in gangs or involved in crime in general.
It's an incredibly stressful time for a community when a shooting, a stabbing, something traumatic happens in a community. And the whole idea is to provide the community with a sense of reassurance, a sense that they can take control, that they haven't lost control, and it's not their issue to deal with. It's a broader issue, that there's a support network around them, and that we're there to work with them. We have some experience in this area. We've dealt with these sort of situations in the past, and it's not doomsday, and there are some concrete steps that we can take that will lead to solutions in the short term and also in the long term.
The strategy is a multi-year commitment. It's involving multi-stakeholders across our community. And make no mistake about it, the gun violence and the street gang activity is a community problem, and we need the community's help. And this strategy provides an opportunity to put all the right people, the affected communities at one table. We meet on a monthly basis, we exchange correspondence on a daily basis sometimes. We're making headway, we're moving forward, and I'm expecting some really good results in the near future.